All right. Good morning, everybody. This is Lucien from Calvin Chen's Martial Arts Academy. We're happy that you joined us again. This class is beginner, intermediate, Hung Kuen or Hung Kung Fu class. As usual, I'm going to do a series of warm-ups and some stretching, some horse stance, some punches, some kicks. Basically the fundamental stuff that we do every class to get started, and then Sifu will come in and I'll jump back on the streaming machine and hopefully you guys are joining us. If you're joining us on social media, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Periscope, we're all over the place with this stuff. Please give a like, subscribe, follow, all of that good stuff. It'll also make sure that you get notified when we're going to go live. We go live 4 days a week. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Our first class of the day every week is Tai Chi. It's an hour-and-a-half long class, and it starts at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So, all right, here we go. Feet shoulder width, nice big hoop, and we turn. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. Reaching over, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. Very good. Hands up. We're going to stretch gently towards the floor. 1, 2, 3. To your right. 2, 3. To your left. 2, 3. Middle one time to the center. Standing up. Inhale. And through the nose, exhale. Again. 1, 2, 3. To your right. 2, 3. To your left, 2, 3. Middle once, inhale, and exhale. Again, 1, 2, 3. To your right, 2, 3. To your left, 2, 3. Middle once, inhale, and exhale. Hands on the waist, rotation, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. We switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. Crossing the hands, knees, bending the knees, make a gentle circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. Switch hands, switch directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. Hands on the waist, turning the head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. Back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. Tilting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Rotation, looking all the way around. 1, 2, 3. We switch. 1, 2, and 3. Good. Opening up the feet, arms out. We're going to relax the arms, turn the waist, turn your head, and the body will follow. So you scan the room with your eyes, and you try to look behind you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Very good. We're going to cross the fingers, interlace your fingers, turn to your right, lift your heel, straight back and stretch. 1, 2, and 3. We switch. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, and 3. Good. Both feet flat. Straighten your right leg. Squatting on your left heel. Stretch. And we switch. And switch, toe up. And switch. And up. We turn to the right, both legs straight, bending at the waist. You don't want to round your back. Try to keep your spine straight. And switch. And to the middle. And let's bring our feet in. In the kids' class, we call this the frog. Elbows between the knees, toes out, stretching that hip. Okay, sit. Feet together. Call that the butterfly. Right leg out. Left foot in, stretch towards your foot. And we switch. Both feet out front, we bounce, switch, and up. Okay, very good. Feet in the ready position, you want your feet about 1.5 of your feet width apart. Excuse me, hands at your sides. We're going to make fists. Pull our elbows back, fists go to the waist, bend the knees, heels, toes, heels, and toes. So this is a basic horse stance, toe-to-toe, straight line, both feet parallel, feet are flat, knees are bent out, excuse me, and the back is straight, everything's relaxed, and we punch to the center. This is a ping choi, reverse or flat punch. It turns over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Closing. 1, 2. Low block, we're going to press. You want your wrist in the middle, elbow bent. This is a round shape. Okay, 2, 3. We remove. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Closing. 1, 2. Middle block. We come across the body, stopping at the shoulder. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Closing. 1, 2. High block, we lift, same round shape, wrist in the middle. 2, you don't want to come around the side like this. If something's coming down, you'd still get hit. If you come up the middle, you intercept and block. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Closing. 1, 2. Lunwan Samsik, all 3. Low, middle, high. 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 Low, middle, and high. Closing. 1, 2. Low block with a punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Closing. 1, 2. Middle block with a punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Closing. 1, 2. High block with a punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Closing. 1, 2. Danji Kyo Seal, we squeeze down all of our fingers except for our index finger. Pull the elbows straight back. We're going to push out to the sides first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Going low. 1, 2. The fingertips pointed towards each other. Your elbows are out. 3, 4, 5, 6. Going high, eyebrow height. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Last set. In front of you, shoulder width, shoulder height. Let's push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stop. Thrust. Flip, roll, press. Thrust, flip, roll, press. Thrust, flip, roll, press, and we close. 1, 2, closing the feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, shake it out. Deep breathing, palms up, elbows down, elbows out. We're going to inhale, lift from the top of the head. Come down slowly with the breath. Again, palms up, elbows down, elbows out. We inhale and exhale. One more time, palms up, elbows down, elbows out. Inhale and exhale. Very good. Hopefully you're following along at home. Left hand on the waist, right fist to the center. If you didn't know everything we're doing, I'm doing mirror image, so I'll tell you which hand to hold up, but I'm holding up the opposite, just so it's like looking in a mirror. And here we go, we punch. Okay, stop, switch, punch. Okay, stop, to the side, punch. Okay, stop, punch. You want to keep your eyes focused on your punch as you go. That gets your eyes used to seeing fists moving, which is important. If anyone ever throws a punch at you, you've never seen a punch at all, probably just going to get hit and watch it like a movie. Okay, stop. Both fists up by your ears. You're going to turn the body, drop down. Lift as you turn, drop down. So you're protecting the ear, coming across the body. Keep the head facing the front. Relax and turn. Your knees should be slightly bent. This 45-degree punch, Tendu Seal. Okay, stop. Bina Choi, edge of the fist, we're going to punch out and in. Keep your body facing the front. Just turn your head, raise the elbow, and let it go. Okay, switch, punching with the left. Okay, stop. Chelon Choi, punching to the center. It's a circular punch. One comes over the other. Your fist lines up with the elbow of your other arm, and that's going to determine the size of that circle. Keep everything in the center line, and go. Okay, stop. Kwa Choi, back of the fist, and punch. Keep in mind you could do many more of these punches, more reps as it were, as you like, but because of the constraint of the time, we're trying to go through these, get a little bit of a sweat going, and then we'll start with the form after. Okay, we switch, punch. Good. So the last of the punches, you're going to lightly put your left toe just barely touching the floor, cat stance. Left hand on top, and we're going to switch, keeping the weight on the back foot, and punch, switch, punch. Switch, 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 and switch. Good. Palms up. Elbows down, elbows out, inhale, and exhale. Again, palms up, elbows down, elbows out, inhale, and exhale. Palms up, elbows down, elbows out, inhale, and exhale. Very good. So next we go to kicks. We're going to put our left foot in front. We're in a leaning stance. The left knee is over the toe. Back leg is straight. Left hand on top. We're going to punch. Pivot on the toe, toe out, lift the knee, kick with the toe pointed, step back, pivot, and punch. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Switch. Notice we keep the hands up. Keep that frame, that guard up. Don't let your hands come down as your kick comes forward. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Switch. So again, left foot forward, left hand on top. Same thing. We're going to push out with the heel on this one. Otherwise, it's exactly the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Good. Let's switch. Again, left foot forward. We're kicking with the right leg. Chun Sam Hoi is the only kick we do where the leg is straight. We're not going to bend the knee like a soccer kick. Just keeping the leg straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We switch. Kicking with the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Good, let's switch. Left foot forward, left hand up. Wrong sohoi, we're kicking a round kick, roundhouse. We're going to punch, toe out, bring the knee up and over. Turning the waist, you're going to kick with the shin and instep. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Good. Deep breathing. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. So I believe Sifu's ready to come. Yep. I'm going to turn off my mic. And,
Changing of the guards. Okay. Okay, everyone, did you get your quick drink? As we usually do in the class, get 30 seconds. So as usual, we'll go through 5 stances, first form and second form, and then we'll work on some of the other things that you've been working on. So for newer people, if you're just tuning in, 5 stances is a basic fundamental exercise that we do to work our stances, and it has some what we call postures, and postures are these different body configurations and body images that we create that become part of the sequence of or the part of the postural portion of the forms that we learn. The first form that we do is called the Plum Flower Fist form. The second form we do is called Lao Ga Fist form. It's from the Lao family. Third form we do is called Bang Pu Kun, or the praying mantis form. It's translated as the breaking step. And fourth form that we do is called the war palm form. It's called Ching Cheung, and then we move on from there. Okay, so let's go through the 5 stances first. And we open 1, 2, 3. So this has a gunji opening, or gunji kun, one of our pillar forms. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's put the salute in there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Pivot. Horse stance. High, low. Okay, oops, sorry, that's the form. Okay, so let's chun kill. 1, sliding step, punch, reach behind. 1, 2, cross step. 3, back fist to the face, that's high. 1, 2, 3. Reverse, lift, hop, squat down, uppercut, and close. 1, 2, 3. Slide, punch, reach behind, draw, punch. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. Set it up. Horse stance, sliding step, punch, draw, punch. Dragon flaps its tail or corner back fist to the face, middle block, punch, reverse, lift, squatted stance, uppercut. Set it up, horse stance, sliding step, leaning stance to horse stance, cross step to horse stance, back fist to cat stance, reverse, reverse stance, single-legged stance, squat stance, uppercut, close. So that is the exercise that we work our legs, and all those stances are inside the form. Okay? So first form, salute first, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Then pivot, high, look in that direction, low, dragon, reverse, scoop, uppercut, remove, step forward, punch, squat down, uppercut, remove, step forward, punch, drunken fist, squat down, uppercut, sliding step punch, squat down, elbow up, cross hand, cutting hand, palm, remove, punch, rolling elbow, back fist, palm, high block, crescent kick, jump kick, step down, trapping hand, back fist, remove, punch, back to the front, sliding step, palm, scoop, press, kick, punch, dragon, step back, sliding step, punch, turn, salute, 1, 2, 3. Okay, shake it out, deep breathing, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So forms actually have a lot of basics in it. So the first form, we have removing. So we're like this, remove. So this is removing down. In the uppercut, we remove down. In the back fist, we remove down. Okay? The double palm strike, we remove down. Okay? So where did these happen? The double palm happens after the cross hand. So the hands do this, and then you palm strike. So once you know the sequence, do you know what a center line is? A center line is the line that splits your body in half, so you have a right side and a left side. Well, it's my right and your left, so it's your left and your right. Okay, so you have this center line. All our movements should track on that line. So in other words, if I'm here, my center line would be here. If I'm facing you, my center line is here. So if I'm doing the drills like you did with Lucien, you have your center line and you have your center line. So this is very important to understand. So when you do your movements, you'll know which side it is. If I do a middle block on this side, it's with this shoulder. If I do it on this side, it's with this shoulder. So we don't stop the middle block here. That's halfway. It has to come to here. When we do a high block, it stops right in front of the forehead. And this one stops in the forehead, but the wrist is right where the center line is. When we low block, the wrist is right where the center line is. Okay? The center line to the side here becomes the center line here. So from a dragon claw to the front, there's your center line. And guess what? Your elbows should not be like that. They have to be in. When we chun kill, regardless of which side, it's on that center line. So the center line kind of splits through your body. The side center line and this are two different center lines, essentially using your body as sort of your guide. All right. So same with the Drunken Fist series. When you go to the Drunken Fist, that's on your center line. If you look, it should be, you wouldn't be able to see my hand in the back. If you see my hand, it's in the wrong place. It has to be directly behind you. So it should be like this, you see. Now when we go up, that's your removing up. So we only have one of those as a removal. You will have another high block that goes from the back fist elbow to here, but that's turning. Okay, so those are what we call transitions, and those transitions are sort of what you have to improve on once you memorize the sequence. So that's something that you have to work over and over again. The only way to memorize the form is to do it often. So because we have these videos, you should, you have time at home in between, your play dates when you're not having those. So you have plenty of time to do that in between, say, lunch and dinner. You have some free time. Work the sequence, work the form. You can always just turn it on and follow it. And if you do it at least 3 or 4 times a week, by the end of 1 or 2 weeks, you'll have memorized the sequence. Now, the jump kick, okay, one of the things I'm going to explain to you is that you come to the center, you can't do the kick from here because then you'll fall over. So you have to shift your weight over this foot, balance here, and then do the circular movement. Don't put it down, and then you hop. So you're like this, 1, 2, 3. So you just practice the kick. If this helps, do this, and then step down. So if your hands are out like this, you have this movement, and then you're going to jump from here. So it does take a little practice, but try not to put the foot down, because then you don't know which foot to jump off of. You jump off the same foot that you're going to kick with. So that's a typical jump kick. Typical jump kick, you kick off the foot that you jump with. So that's the same side, okay? Okay, deep breathing again. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So with this, we spread out, open up the chest, go up on your toes, and then down. Okay, now we're going to run through second form. Okay, ready? This is 1, 2, 3. Salute, pull back. 1, 2, 3. Salute. Turn to the corner, back to center, close. 2 punches up, 2 punches down. Open, push, scoop. So this was in the 5 stances. Cat stance, reverse stance. Okay, instead of hopping, we're going to turn and pump. Turn and chop. Scoop, press, kick, and punch. We change directions. 1, 2. Sliding step, punch. Step through, diagonal strike, lift up, elbow down, dragon, turn, cross step, turn, palm strike, scoop, see the center line, press, kick, step back, cat stance, 1, 2, 3. Stomp, twist, kick, 1, 2. Step, sliding step, punch. This elbow, reach behind, poke. Drop down, that's a dropping palm. Goes inside, back fist. Step. Sliding step, punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now this time I'm going to jump back. 1, 2, 3. So that's a little bit more advanced to jump back and then catch your position. Butterfly. 1, 2, 3. Push. 1, 2, 3. Push. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Grab. Go to leaning stance. Chop. Adjust the back foot. Elbow. Strike down. Back fist. Sword finger. Trapping hand. thrust, fingertip, pull back, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and fold. Okay, so that's the second form. So any of you who have been following or you already know these forms, sequentially, you can memorize it. Once you've memorized sequence, try to improve your posture and your timing, and the speed of the form will get faster as you blend some of those movements. And as you blend these movements, what will end up happening is it enters a more of a mindless type of doing the form, which is you don't have to think through it. So it becomes sort of a active meditation, or it becomes what we call subconscious behavior, and eventually it becomes part of the reflex. So when you practice your movements, what we can do with form is that you build off of those sequences for the timing, the speed, and the execution. So, practicing it one time with me only gives you an idea of, what the sequence is. But you should practice it on your own until you can go through it without thinking about it. And the way to do that is practice it 3 to 5 times every other day, and it's going to, really sink into, your long-term memory, which is, long-term memory is that you know it by heart. So, it's like memorizing a poem. Once you recite it over and over again, leaving out some things, phrases that you might not have remembered when you're reciting it, so you do it over and over again. And what happens, the parts that you have trouble remembering, you have to repeat those more, because that's where you have these little mental blocks. Those mental blocks, you have to work through them, you have to do them over and over again. And that's how we get past those moves. It's like you get stuck in a certain position. And sometimes that happens when you learn a couple of forms and you don't know them by heart yet. You mix them up because you say, oh, this is what happened, but you mix it up from a previous position. If you have a Chun Keo position, it's like this in the first one, and then you have it like this, you could mix that up, or you have a Chun Keo and a palm strike. So, it's easy to get it mixed up, but believe it or not, if you practice the form as one complete form over time, you'll end up building a program for that specific form, and then you move on to another one, you learn that, and it becomes that. It's sort of like music, you memorize a song, you play it long enough, you can learn another song, memorize that, and you won't mix them up. But if you don't practice them and you're not sure with one, then you learn another one, you will mix them up in the beginning. Okay, next, let's go through third form. So this is called the breaking step form, and we're like this. 1, 2, 3. High block. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Kick. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Okay, so if you've gone through the whole sequence, you would know that, and build, just like the other forms, build the sequential memory, get it into your head, get it into your body, and run through it 4 or 5 times each. So if you did your first 3 forms 4 or 5 times each, you would have a good half an hour of practice. Okay, deep breathing, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So, why so many forms, why so many postures? They're all different techniques, because as a martial art, every one of those movements has what we call applications, and another way of saying it has functionality. So what do we have? We have punches. The punches come in different forms. This is called a sun punch. This is called a flat punch. You have them in combinations. Sometimes you have them in a series, like in the kicks where the two sun punches. Sometimes you have, different other parts of the hand that's being used, like a chop. You're using to chop the edge of the hand, to chop to the waist, to chop to the neck, to chop to the leg. So these are chops. Then we have fingertip thrust, poke, poke. That's right and left side. Where we have it in the second form, we're thrusting like this. In the third form, we thrust like this, and then we pull. So grabbing and pulling are, two different techniques. So when you thrust, back to that center line, there's your center line, there's your center line. Okay, so see what, when you work towards your center line, and I thrust and pull, thrust and thrust to the center line, what you're doing is aligning your body. So we have a body that has the capability of lining up the body to have a direction of force. So why do we line up? Because when you're in good alignment, you have sort of the maximum potential, or there could be the best position and have the strongest power in that technique. So when you punch, you want your punch to be in line with your body, okay? So that's your center line. When you chop on the oblique, it's either like this, like this, like this, or like this. Those are essentially the same chopping techniques. We call it the diagonal strike. There's a Chinese name for it. It's called Qinji. It's like a strike that's like a character of 1,000. But the thing is, it's really used to describe the action. The action is a 45-degree line. It comes down on the slant. Okay, so that's the chop. Then in the phoenix eye position, like we have in the second form, we have this single knuckle position. So you fold these fingers and you leave your index finger extended and fold it till it is supported by your thumb, and you use the tip of your finger with that knuckle to strike small surfaces. That's what it's designed for. But regardless if you're going to hit something with that little finger or not, it's controlling your hand. You're developing control of your hand, like you play piano or you play guitar. You have to use your fingers. Well, we use our hands to grab, to pull, to strike. So anytime you're doing something, when you get to the fifth form and you're pulling down like this, or you're pushing, you're training your fingers to develop control and strength, that's sort of confined to this area so that you can focus that power. Rather than tightening your arms, you're using your fingers. Okay, you have it in the mantis where you're controlling your fingers. When you're sweeping and you're doing this, you're controlling your whole body all the way down to your fingers. So when I do this, I'm controlling my movements down to the soles of my feet, to the tips of my toes, to the tips of my fingers. So these are things that you probably, it's not obvious to you that that's happening, but for people that are following, for the adults, this is part of what's going on. How you articulate and describe the motion is illustrated in the fingers. Your hands sort of determine what the technique is, but it's also interpreted in the imagery and the posture. So, when we go to double block position like this, we have a hand in front of the solar plex and one hand in front of the forehead. Okay? When we're in the elbow down position, we're like this. You have this coming up in the fourth form. You even have this as you pass through your double elbow position. So those are the shoulder width positions. One mistake a lot of people do is when they in this elbow position, they flare their elbows out. It should be down and parallel. So this is parallel to the floor, and it's pointing toward your front, and it's not out like that. Okay, so that's one of the things. So when you hook and you elbow, you hook and you elbow. It's to the front. It's not over there. It's over here. So that's really part of body alignment. So for newer people, these are things that you may not understand or not even ask a question about because you don't know that there's a difference. And the difference is the structural integrity and the biomechanics of those positions. You have to create these shapes and positions when you're learning your forms because your forms are really your foundation and what you use as a vehicle, as a book of movements to practice, everything that we're talking about. Because how could you remember all the things that I'm talking about without having something to look at, to reference? So that's your form. That's why traditional arts use these forms as a training vehicle to carry you into the different methods. So a form itself, has many good aspects to it to practice. Some styles don't use forms, but they use a lot of experience from using another partner. But in today's environment, we can't touch each other. We have to stay 6 feet away from each other. We can't use that physical interaction. So what do we use? We use visualization. We imagine what we're doing. We block, we punch, we lift, we strike, we lift, we drop, we sink, we cross, we lift, we turn. So these are transitions. We learn to move our body organized and systematically getting from one position to the next. You say, well, how does that work? Well, as an exercise, it's great to build sort of how to move your body, balance, control of your body, position, your feet. So because we have feet, we have hands, we have elbows, we have knees, how do you move those without just kind of like flailing your arms and legs? We have these ideas. So working off of those ideas, in the next few months, if you practice like this, you're going to be surprised how coordinated you become. And if you play soccer, if you play baseball, you do whatever you do, just from learning how to move your body better, you'll be a better athlete. A lot of sports actually teach you how to be coordinated. You go out there and you play the game, you score a ball, you score a point from, whether it's soccer or basketball, you score a point. That's like the end goal, but the thing is, how did it look when you did that? Was it sloppy? And I guess when you just play a game to win, it doesn't matter, how you get that point. But as a martial art, it does matter how you get that point with coordination and good form and structure. And if you were to score a point and it looked good, it's even better than just, getting it in there by luck. So, these are the ideas that we have inside the form. What we did in the punching, Lucian took you through these punching, that's a footwork. When you move, when you shift your weight, you shift your weight, you shift your weight. What is the purpose of this? To just move your foot. Well, when you kick and you move back, that's kind of an agility motion, but actually if you kick and you would put it to here, if someone wanted to sweep that foot, you would lift it up, right? Someone sweeps that foot, you would lift it up. That's to get your foot out of the way. But if you lift it up, you want to switch your feet, you'd have to do that. Switch the feet, you'd have to do that. If you're here. So that's what we're doing for agility, because you have to shift your feet and balance. So that's kind of why we go from here to here to here, to control where your body's going to the next position. So if I'm here and I cross and I turn, then I'm going back in this direction. If I'm here, that's what you're doing. You're moving from here to here. So you're moving, because this praying mantis form is actually northern mantis, so the agility of the footwork comes from softening the legs and moving. Now, if you're always landing and your legs are stiff, then you can't even get out of your own way. So strength in the legs is not the most important part of it. It's one part of it. Flexibility and shifting the weight is the other part of it. So you need 3 different things to help you get from here to here. Otherwise, you'd be moving like this. So you have to have some flexibility and agility from controlling your movements. Okay. So the praying mantis form, we have this position and this position. In the first 2 movements, you have the dragon claw. You convert it to the mantis, it's just that. So what's consistent or the same position is this. So this is what we call the bridges of your blocks. A bridge is a connection between you and your opponent. You know, you have 2, like an island to land, you connect it with a bridge. So that's a way of connecting. So if your opponent is one island and you're the other island, how do you connect it? You connect it with a bridge. So when you intercept someone's hand, that's really a block. So that's exactly what we're learning. So for very young kids, that might not be important because you just play around, you think. But for us to understand what we're doing, we have to bring that concept into mind that when we're blocking, we're protecting our space. So protecting your space is important because that's what someone would try to penetrate. So when someone comes into that space, you have to have a defensive mechanism, which are your blocks, and you have to have an offensive mechanism because just blocking alone sometimes doesn't take care of it. You'd have to kind of push back, push away in order to counteract a force that would be coming towards you. So that's how we think of our techniques and application. Because when you're backing off, eventually you get into a corner and then you have no recourse to do anything. So what you do is when you back off, you have to have a defense. When you move forward, you have to have an offense. You could back off and then turn it into the offensive movement. That's why we Chung Kyo and we punch. That's why we punch and then follow up with a punch, because that's what you do as a continuity or combination of movements. So where we have combinations of movements, how about elbow, back fist, palm? That's a combination. How about press, trap, back fist? That's a combination. How about uppercut, remove, punch? That's a combination. Now, the more skillful you are, the better you can string those movements together and create a combination of movements. And that combination movement allows you to become much more effective with your technique, because when you block and you strike and you palm and you strike and you strike and you strike and you strike, you block. These are all movements that you're learning, and you're programming these sequences of events into your body so that they will become a reflex at some point. And when does it become a reflex? When you don't have to think about it. So that's actually what, the objective is, but it's also the strategy. So at this point, let's see, what time is it, Lucian? About 7 minutes? 9 past 12. We have about 7 minutes. Okay, so let's go over a couple of things that we have in the 3 different forms. How about elbows? Okay, elbow is a midline technique. This is, so on the arm level is a longer range motion, mid-range, your shoulder is a short range. So at the elbow, the first form, we have a rolling elbow, back fist and palm. Okay, so you notice this is elbow comes across. 1, right? 2, okay? So there's an elbow, the difference between this and this. One's a rolling one, one's a poking elbow. Your poke elbow is going to the side like this. The rolling elbow comes from behind you like this. okay? When you launch your hand like this and you pull back, that's a poking elbow to the back, okay? Then in the third form, we have an elbow like this, and we have an elbow like this, right? So those elbows, this is a rising elbow. We have it in Kung Ji Kun as well. 1, okay? 1, 2. We have this elbow, right? When we spin, we're spinning into a position. So these elbows can be used for a block. It can be used as a block to deflect, because when you can turn to do that, but they're vertical like this. This elbow comes in. So you see, an elbow is not necessarily just a strike. They could be used as a block, as a defensive mechanism. So actually all our techniques has both offensive, defensive interpretation or applications of those movements, so that you can realize that what we're practicing is integration of body coordination and movement. So I like to look at everything as a movement, not just specifically, well, that's what that is, because when you do that, you're setting yourself up to only think of that as one definition of that movement. Movements have multiple interpretations. So when you do these, you have to be able to control the direction of your movement. So here, for some of the newer people, you can do this basic 4-movement drill, right? You have an elbow, right? So we start off with an elbow, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So you have these movements, right? There's an elbow, there's an elbow, there's an elbow, there's an elbow, okay? You have an elbow, 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are your 4 movements in the elbows. Not bringing this in, but that's something that when we go like this, we're actually creating that action already. So all the actions that we have built into our drills, our exercises, are defining the direction of your movement. Because what happens when you have a direction movement is because now you have a force. There's your strike. There's your strike. There's your strike. There's your strike. So all of these is defining a direction movement, so you can use it. If you grab, and you strike, and you grab, and you strike, and you pull, when you strike, when you trap, you back fist. Those are all movements that come off of another position. So our forms that are very, very long teach you how to go from one position to the next with so many different transitions, is left to your imagination. But because it's systematized and it's organized, when you practice your movements, your body becomes so intelligent, and that's what we're building, body intelligence, that there's no other way or no other form of developing it other than with this type of a format. So that's why there's benefit to adults to prevent age-related degeneration. It's benefit for kids who need to develop coordination and control of their body, so that when they reach a level to discover what their level of athleticism will be discovered during this phase. Now, all of this is, a tremendous benefit to building, your mind, because learning through movement and exercise is very, very important to build that brain plasticity. So, as parents or you have kids that are doing this, you say, well, what are they learning? You're learning something much more deeper or much more complex than you can imagine by doing these simple drills and exercises. Because you're wiring your body, you're building the neurons, you're building all kinds of stuff up in here for your body to deal with and understand, and to build this relationship in your body where the hands work, where the hands work. You notice everything is working in pairs. It's not isolated here, it's not isolated there, you're not moving this leg, it's very organized, because the relationship in your body is something that most of us, are deficient in. And as kids, when they learn, they can build these networks in the body that's going to be a tremendous benefit as they age. So there's really, that's exercise and intelligence. So it's the physical side of learning that actually builds the same apparatus used in learning anything. So on that note, I think we're about running out of time. So next class, we'll go through more of these type of things in the first, second, and third form. The next class after the Parkinson's class will be advanced Kung Fu, pillar form 1 and 2, and we'll go over some of those, and we'll probably touch upon the fourth form as well. So I'll see you then.